This podcast encourages and empowers you to create your own unique real story, develop your own unique real statement, and discover your own unique real self. The power is yours. Good night, Maxwell Cohen. How are you doing on this wonderful, beautiful night?
Hey, it was a beautiful night in New York City. It's super cold the past few days, so it feels real good.
Oh, that's wonderful. Glad to know. Well, do tell me, my friend, which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at this specific time in history?
I'm an entrepreneur. I have something that's incredibly, relatable, a good story, and, the execution, the hard work, and the passion of building a business from scratch into a scalable global international business.
Ooh, sounds like fun. Who did you learn that skill from, that ability to build businesses?
I come from a family of serial entrepreneurs. We were forced to start businesses in my family before we turned 27. So we've always been trained to think and analyze and execute like an entrepreneur.
Ooh.
So my parents.
What type of family is that where you have to come? Tell me a bit more about that, please.
Yeah, my parents were incredibly entrepreneurial growing up. They both built a business together and sold it and retired many years ago. And there was always a goal and a mission for the children to start businesses, whether they were successful or not. It's always a great opportunity to think like an entrepreneur, to execute like an entrepreneur, and at least learn how to potentially build something from the ground up. And so it'd be great for any future employer, or if you were onto something, you started a business at a young age.
Oh, that sounds great. So have you had a time when you felt as though you would want to turn off that entrepreneurial mindset?
I'm born and raised with it. It's in my blood. It's in my veins. Do I believe entrepreneurship could be taught? Yes, but it takes a certain type of person to be able to withstand the ups and downs, the doubts, the failures, the pushback, and then, of course, understanding and learning from your success and your mistakes as well.
Love that. Ooh, you're a talker. You've been around a bit, haven't you?
It's in the blood.
Well, all right. So tell me about the business and how we can learn more about it, please.
Absolutely. When I was in college, I noticed that many of my friends had trouble washing their sheets on a weekly basis. And then when I came home from college, I noticed that my elderly grandparents who were bedridden, had trouble washing their sheets. And so, with my entrepreneurial mindset, I said there has to be an easier way. So now I started a company. It's called Peelaways Labs. We design and manufacture multi-layered Peelaway waterproof bedding. It's the fitted bed sheet that we're all familiar with the elastic at the bottom, and it has 5 layers on top. So every 7 to 10 days, sooner if soiled, you simply just peel off the top layer, dispose of it to instantly have a brand new sheet below. We sell to healthcare around the world. We sell to potty training toddlers, as well as miscellaneous in the camping section in Walmart.
Wow. Where can I go to find out more?
You could visit Peelaways.com, or if you're a healthcare individual, you could visit our PeelawaysHealth.com, a website dedicated to the healthcare version and platform of our product, as it has so many profound, great benefits for so many different industries.
Who led the R&D for this?
I did. I noticed, my friends didn't wash their sheets, and so the first step I did was go to a hospital, see what kind of disposable bedding and materials that they're using in the facilities currently. I ordered a spool off of Alibaba of the same material that they're using, and the power of Google. I'm not an advocate. I'm not getting paid, but Google. You just Google everything. R&D. Everybody used to ask me, "How do you know that? How did you get to that first step? How did you find somebody?" And I go, Google. You spend long nights Googling, and then emailing, and making prototypes, and eventually getting to the 30-second iteration that is good enough that we're selling thousands of hundreds of thousands of these in the marketplace.
That's amazing, Maxwell. Totally, totally amazing. Well, do tell me one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years, please. It could be for fun.
Yeah, I mean, everything at this point in my life revolves around business, and to me, it becomes more and more fun. And, it's the simple word that any entrepreneur, any successful person will say. It's called persistence. You could doubt yourself many times, and then sometimes you're doing, very well to the point you feel invincible. You got to find the equilibrium and be able to push on with persistence. I've had many people reject my idea, reject my execution, reject my business. But as you can see, we're starting to do, very successful, very exciting things. And so the persistence over the past 4.5 years of never doubting yourself is, but continuing to step forward and learning and becoming smarter every single day.
How does it make you feel now?
It feels great. To me, it's all just, a good start until, I eventually, this product becomes a household product in healthcare facilities around the world, as well as in consumer residential use. It's a bed sheet. I believe it's the next generation of bedding. And so it feels good. Something that I had drawn on paper, I've created a reality, and I've created customers who benefit from my product, who come back month after month.
There's someone listening out there, that person who is looking as well, that entrepreneur who's found the product, who's in that drive mode. Why would you suggest to them that they do what you've done, Maxwell?
Would I suggest being an entrepreneur? I've said before that it takes a certain person. A lot of timing is a great crucial part of being an entrepreneur. I'm 27. I'm young and dumb and hungry. I don't have many constraints holding or anchoring me down. So if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you'll recognize that this is a journey that, the odds are completely, utterly against you. You're building something from scratch to make people's lives better is, the end goal. And if you happen to make money doing it, that's awesome. But you really have to have, the fire in the belly to continue the persistence of the bad days to get to the good days. And it takes a certain type of person to do that.
There we go, amazing audience. Maxwell Cohen. Maxwell is again the CEO and president of Peelaways Labs. You can connect with them at peelaways.com. Maxwell, let's switch gears for a moment. Let me invite you now into my time machine. It is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Maxwell, what is your earliest childhood memory?
Earliest childhood memory. I just remember playing sports growing up and how crucial, now that I look back at it, was, how it, made me into the leader and the person I believe I am today. I remember being on the sports team, scoring my first goal, having a team be excited about something that you've accomplished together.
Wow. How old were you in that memory?
This memory is probably 5-6 years old. When it comes to like a real true memory that locks its piece in my brain.
That's super cool. How do you see that memory again connecting to who you are today, Maxwell?
Oh, back to the teammanship. You could be a Google employee, ex-Google employee. You could have gone to the finest colleges in the world, but if you can't work in a team, and you're not willing to be coachable, you'll never be successful. You'll never be smarter than the person who's trying to outcompete you. You have to be able to be coachable, and you have to have great teammanship.
Definitely.
So old sports and scoring goals together, I couldn't have scored the goal without my team, and so I give a lot of credit to my team as well.
Love it. Couldn't say it better. If we fast forward to when you were 12 years old, what was your favorite song?
My favorite song. I was a big Billy Joel fan. I enjoyed his music because it's more of a story. It has a beginning and has an end, opposed to just lyrics that go in circles.
Love it. All right, Maxwell, well, we've arrived at our destination. But before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form. So it's yes or no. We're going to move pretty quickly here. Are you ready?
Of course.
Maxwell, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
I do mentor, yes.
Are you married?
I am not.
Do you have children?
I do not.
Do you believe in God?
I do not.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Of course.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
Give or take.
How about screen time, the phone and the computer? Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
I'd say less than 8 hours.
If you had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents who you are, Maxwell Cohen, what would you say that is?
Well, the closest person that represents who I want to be?
Well,
I'm sorry, I missed the question.
Yeah, sure. No, you're good. Yeah, let me slow down. So, if you had to give us a statement that represents who you are.
Oh, one of my favorite quotes. We all see the same thing from a different point of view. And understanding that is crucial, when you're just living life, and especially in the business world.
Love it. Maxwell, this was a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Yeah, feel free to reach out. As I said, I love to mentor and help people. I like people to learn from my mistakes and learn from other people's mistakes before they have to make them themselves. So feel free to learn more about me. Feel free to reach out. And this was my pleasure to be here. And thank you so much for having me. Definitely
a pleasure I treasure to the maximum of my wellness, Maxwell Cohen. Thank you for being on What Is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Groovy. Thanks.
You're welcome.
This segment has been brought to you by Amazon Enterprise.